can I say in our own lives, the devil is trying to convince the Lord we're not who we say we are? Lord, you blessed them with this, you blessed them with that. But let's see what happens. And let me just use McChapel for an example, if I may. And we're here on the line, so if someone feels that this is not the case, please speak up. The devil is saying, Lord, the only reason why McChapel is acting the way they act, the only reason why they're growing, the only reason why they're prospering is because you've put a head of protection around them. But them folks that McChapel is not the folk that you think they are. Why won't you throw some stuff their way? Why won't you do some stuff? And I guarantee you, they'll turn from you. I guarantee you, if you send a hurricane to them and mess up some of the church and mess it up and all of that, they'll turn from you. And the Lord said, okay, send the hurricane that way to them. But what the devil didn't realize is we had some praying folk in the church while the hurricane was coming and kept the faith. And because of that, the roof didn't blow off the church. And yeah, I understand, when you look at physics, is the windows open up and all of that, but we had some folk in the church praying. And not only that, after prayer, after the hurricane was over, the devil said, well, Lord, they still there because they ain't gonna come back, because now they got to get a new roof, they got to do all of this, they got to do all of that. And they're not going to come back. They're going to fall apart. They're going to start arguing amongst each other. They're going to have money issues and all of that. But what did we do? We stayed faithful. We kept praying. We kept believing. What did the Lord do? The Lord blessed us to get everything we needed. And matter of fact, not only that, during that time, the devil said, well, Lord, let me do something else to him. Let me throw this bathroom flood at him too. And all of that in the midst of all of this. And I guarantee you they crumbled. The Lord said, go ahead and try. What happened? We got through it. We kept praying, we kept believing, and not only that, it made us stronger as a church family. It made us stronger in our faith because we took the faith that we had in the church that the Lord will provide for us, and we took it to our own personal homes, and we started to realize the Lord will provide for us throughout that storm, and with the insurance and all of that, we just got to keep praying and being faithful, and it happened. But lo and behold, here comes the devil again at the next meeting, the next council meeting of the angels, and he's saying, Lord, I'm still not satisfied with these folks at McChapel. I still believe I got some more fight in me. I still believe I can do something to them. So now we're going to send COVID-19 their way, and I guarantee you they're not going to come to church. I guarantee you that they're not. But once again, we have a praying congregation that is telling the Lord to guide the pastor and what we would do. And we started drive-in church, and drive-in church was getting stronger and stronger. So the devil said, you know what, I still got to do some stuff. I still, Lord, I'm still telling you they're not faithful. So drive-in church kind of went to the wayside, but look at us now. We're still here. We're on the prayer lines. We're on the internet. And even though the internet is still messing up, as I look at it now, we're not screaming whatsoever. And it's probably because our internet connection, I got two internet services here, and neither one of them want to work right now, but we're going to continue to remain faithful. We're going to continue to pray, and we know the Lord is going to make a way. So I hope that makes sense to you, just using a example of us. But we got to realize that the devil is always going to petition the Lord to tell the Lord we're not who we think we are. Time he started taking stuff away from us. Watch it. Watch how them Negroes act when you start taking the stuff away from them, Lord. Watch how they act when you start taking the food away from them. Watch how they act when you start taking their money away from them. Watch how you act when you start taking their cars away from them. Watch how they act. They're going to turn from you. And that is not the case. That wasn't the case with Job. Matter of fact, when we look at it, he said, you got your hedge of protection around him. So long as we're being faithful to the Lord, he has his hedge of protection around us. And because he has his hedge of protection around us, the only way the devil can get to us if he asks permission from the Lord. And just me thinking of that alone, just me just thinking of that. If I'm being faithful, if I'm being upright, I'm doing everything that I can to please the Lord. Even when I fall short, I'm asking the Lord to forgive me. Even when I fall short, I'm still trying to do better. And the Lord has his hedge of protection around me. That when trouble comes my way, when all hell breaks loose, I have comfort, and I'm understanding now as we say this. So I'm talking to myself too as I talk to you all. That it's the Lord testing me. The devil, he's just using the devil as a pawn to make me stronger. He's using the devil as a stepping stone to make me stronger, because if I'm under his hedge of protection, the only way the devil could get to me if he gets the Lord's permission. So now it's not nothing that's happening to me because of just craziness. It's a test. And now that I know it's a test, I can get through it. I posted something on Facebook about a couple of years ago. I think it was actually about 6 or 7 years ago. And Facebook always remind you of posts that you made. And that post I was like, the difference between life and school is school, you prepare for a test. You study, then you have the test. The life, you have the test, then you learn from it. So school, you learn, then you take the test. In life, you take the test, then you learn. So in other words, since we're in that hedge of protection, and Jesus and the devil can't get to us unless he has God's permission. So we're going, now that we know that, we've already studied for the test. And now that after we get through the test, we're going to know even more from that test. So we're prepared for the test. And not only that, we're going to pass the test because we know why we're being tested. Because we're in the Lord's protection. And he had to get permission. The devil had to get permission. But watch this also. The devil said that because he was under the Lord's protection. So that goes to show you. The devil will come after people that straddled on that fence. Right? He could get to the people that straddled on the fence. He ain't got to get the Lord's the permission then. Because you're not a child of God. You on the fence. So he's going to get that side that's not. So now you're really in for it because he didn't have to get the Lord's permission. So now you got to make sure you pray even more and more harder to get back into God's protection. He tells Job to scratch out verse 11, but scratch your hands now and touch all that he has, and he will curse you to your face. Once again, here go the devil trying to cause problems. Trying to cause problems. If you, like you say, if you take all that stuff from him, I guarantee you he'll curse you. And what do? A lot of the times when we start getting down, when stuff starts to happen in our lives, when things are not going our right way, we start to get down and we start to doubt God. We start to doubt instead of saying, Lord, it's in your hands. Lord, I'm turning it over to you. I know you still got me. The devil will try to convince us that we can't approach the Lord. You've been doing all of this. You're an alcoholic. You can't turn your life around. You're a drug addict. You can't turn your life around. You've been out there cussing all your life. You can't turn your life around. He throws doubt on us. He told the Lord, if you scratch out your hand and take everything away, he won't praise you no more. He won't curse you. He will curse you for now on. The Lord told Satan very well, all that he has is in your power. Only do not scratch out your hand against him. So once again, now watch this. We are in the protection of the Lord. We are in the hedge of protection. That doesn't mean our valuables are. That doesn't mean our money is. That doesn't mean our house is. That doesn't mean our clothes are. But long as we're under the Lord's protection, whatever is destroyed, he will give us back. He will rebuild. Whatever is taken from us, he will restore it fourfold. We just got to trust in him. And as long as we wake up clothed in our right mind, no matter what's happening around us, whatever hell is going on around us, we got to realize we are safe. When we look at the 3 Hebrew boys, the Lord had that hedge of protection around them in that fiery furnace. The fire was burning all around them, but they didn't get burnt. We are right now. We are experiencing some in this lifetime. You know, we talked about the hurricane, that we've never experienced nothing like that. Then this pandemic came, and I know they had the during Richard Allen them time, and they had another not a pandemic, but I think it was 1918 or 1920. I can't remember what virus it was during that time that affected the country. But we have the pandemic. Well, let's back up from Hurricane Michael. We're getting ready to face another hurricane season. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. And now we still can't get no peace in the pandemic. We're still getting hunted down like dogs in the street. And I can't even say dogs in the street, because dogs have more leeway than black folk when it comes to the street, when it comes to walking around. So we getting hunted down. So we have all of this, and the devil is trying to convince us that there is no God. He's trying to convince us that the only way we're going to get justice if we take justice in our own hands, which that I probably should be careful the way I say that when I say the devil is trying to convince our own hand. And when I say that, I mean with violence. I mean with burning down stuff. I mean with trying to kill other folk. With trying to harm these police officers. That's what I mean when the devil is convincing us to try to take action, to trying to take everything in our own hands, instead of doing like the peaceful protesters are doing, that are still believing in the Lord. They're taking action, but they're exercising their First Amendment right, that they will do what they can in their power to make, and that's what's happening. Change. We have to realize all of this, and we're still in his protection. We just have to do matters in our own hand, and the way we take matters in our